Okay, the second task, I need to tell about my attitude to traveling and speak about this topic. So, the first question is how I can afford myself to travel. Well, the main thing is to plan everything in advance. Just for me, the year starts in September, not in January, like when the school year starts. And in August, I usually make a list of things that I want to do, I want to try out, where I want to go, what I need to buy. So, and this list is for the whole year, and it really helps me to make all my wishes come true. Because when I have a plan, I try to stick to it. And as for the time, I can afford myself to travel. I think 3 or 4 times a year. Usually, when students have holidays at school, because there is not much work for me, I can cancel some lessons and can afford myself to travel. So it is usually 2 week holidays in winter for a new year. Then it is 10 days in May, from the 1st of May till the 9th of May. And according to my experience, children don't want to have extra English lessons when they don't need to go to school, and they usually go somewhere out of the city with their families, and the weather is quite good in May. So I just found out that it's much easier for me to cancel the lessons and enjoy these 10 days of holidays than to stay in the city and trying to make my students come to the lessons. And then in summer, I have more than 2 months of holidays from the 1st of June till the middle of August. So during this period, you can travel quite a lot. The only thing is to save up enough money. And what are the important things that you have to pay attention? Mm, what are the important things? Just usual things. You have to plan your trip in advance, and everything's gonna be okay in this case. So just if you to book the tickets in advance, to check out for the best prices, and not to pay away too much for the plane tickets, that if it's not a package tour, and to find a good hotel and or an apartment for rent. Then you need to save enough money to be able to have enough cash on you to do what you want and what you've planned. um, what else? um, some usual things when you just pack your bags. I think it's a good idea to have a list of things just in order not to forget something, and make sure that you don't have some prohibited items in your luggage. To arrive at the airport on time, check the departure times, and so you need to come to the airport just a couple of hours in advance to check in, and to check in for the flight. And mm, so to book all the tickets in advance, to check out the events that you want to visit, the places that you are going to attend, and that's it. Mm, what does it mean for you? Yeah, traveling means a lot for me. It's the only thing I never regret spending money on. It keeps me from burning out. It just helps me to restore the batteries and to be inspired and motivated, and it makes a change. And it doesn't matter if you go somewhere abroad or just to the nearest city by car. So the best present for me is a trip somewhere just to get away from it all and enjoy a new place, an opportunity to try out new food and immerse yourself in a culture of a new country, to meet new people, to visit new places. So yeah, it means a lot to me. An important list for the good journey. Mm, I don't know, it depends the kind of journey you are planning. So if you're just worn out and very exhausted and you need a good rest, it will be one thing. If you want to try out something new and explore new places and look around the city and attend the museums and the theaters, the list will be different. It depends. So, as I have found out, for me, just enjoying the sea and the sun is not enough. It seems boring, and after a few days, I just get bored. But nevertheless, I need such kind of rest at least once a year, and that's the kind of holiday we usually choose for my family, and just to spend 10 days somewhere in a hot country together, swim in the sea, walk along the beach, enjoy the sound of waves and the sea, things like that. But once a year, I also have a trip abroad together with my students. We go somewhere to study English every year for the past 5 years. So we've been to England twice. 2 years ago, we went to Prague, and last summer we went to Cyprus, and this summer it's going to be Prague again, because the prices for England are very high. I just mm, I hope that once I will be able to afford myself to go to England again. So, and this kind of rest, so to say, is very different. Um, so we have to wake up very early at 7 a.m. We have just an hour break to take a shower and have breakfast, and then we just head to school for our English lessons. And the first half of the day, students are usually busy with their lessons and some activities at school. And mm, last year I had an opportunity to take a English course in Cyprus International University, so I was also busy the first half of the day. When we went to England the first time, we stayed somewhere outside the city, and there was nowhere to go actually. So I just spent the first half of the day waiting for my students, and then we set off for excursions. But the next time, the second time when we went to England, we went to Bromsgrove School, and it's in a small city called Bromsgrove. And I liked the trip much more because the first half of the day the students had some activities at school and lessons, and I had the time of my life. I could just take a walk, drop in a small cafe for a cup of coffee and something tasty, and I could just strolling around the cities and nosing to different small shops. It was great. And then the second part of the second part of the day, we are busy with excursions. The days are very busy, and we are always very tired by the end of the day. So when we were in Prague, after the lessons, there were always very long walks, maybe 4 hours walk around the city. We took some boat trips and walking tours, and we went to the zoo. I liked it very much. We had fun in aqua park, and we visited some castles and some small museums, and we had some free time for shopping and walking around, and we could drop in a cafe for just for a glass of wine, something like that. When we were in Bromsgrove in England, we visited different cities. Like we went to London twice, and there was Oxford and Windsor and Winchester and Stratford-upon-Avon and Birmingham. Actually, I visited more cities in England than in Russia. Like in Russia, I've been to Moscow once, and it's going to be the second time this May. I went to St. Petersburg several years ago when my daughter was very small, at about 2 years old. So she stayed at home with my mom, and I had an opportunity to have this trip with my friends. It was amazing. We had a very big company of friends, more than 10 people, and it was very good. And I would like to visit St. Petersburg again. So, and last year we had a car trip to Novosibirsk for 5 days, just to look around the city and visit some good places, take some excursions, mm, just for fun. So traveling, yeah, traveling means a lot to me. And some people don't like traveling, and some are addicted to it. I remember I was told that when you experience a trip once, you won't be able to stop. That's what happened to me. Actually, after my first trip abroad to Thailand, the only thing I'm dreaming about is just setting off for some new places. It's much more valuable for me than things like jewelries or fur coats, or I don't know. Um, I never regret spending money on traveling. So, and I always plan the trips in advance, and I have already 2 trips planned uh, for the next few months. So in May it's going to be Moscow, and in July it's going to be Prague. And this year I have quite a big group of students with me, almost 10 students, 8 to be exactly. So but I'm already thinking of some other trips that I want to have. So for the next New Year holidays, we would like to go to China again, and all together, all the three of us. Because last New Year we went to China, just me and my husband. So the next New Year holidays, I want to take my daughter with me. We haven't visited this aqua park. It's very big and highly recommended. It's popular destination among tourists, and I'm not fond of this all these rides, water rides, but my daughter is, and I'm sure that she will like it. And I want to go to some excursions together with her. And for the next summer, I am going to go somewhere abroad with my students. It might be Malta or Philippines. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. And oh, I have so many things desired. I'm thinking of taking a Celta course, and I want it so much, but it costs quite a lot, and so the course is quite expensive, and you need to save up enough money to just to be able to stay for the whole month in the other city, just to pay for the hotel or to rent an apartment. And so if you want to have this course, to take it before you sign up for it, make sure that you have enough money. But I really want it. And also I want to have a course for myself somewhere abroad. I haven't decided yet where it will be, but it's one of my dreams also. And I have never traveled alone, and it seems quite a challenge for me. And I have never organized a trip by myself. Once we traveled to Thailand. It was our first trip, and we didn't take a ready-made package tour, but it was my brother's wife who was responsible for all the things that were necessary for our trip. She booked the tickets online, and she bought them, and she looked for some apartments for rent. Just showed me showed me some sites, and we had to choose it together, but actually everything was on her. Then we went to Egypt. It was for New Year holidays, and it was a package tour. Last summer we went to Turkey, and I went there with my daughter, and Kira invited her classmate to join us, so not to get bored and have a friend with her. So Mm, and when we have these trips abroad for study, and everything is organized by a special company, and the managers are responsible for everything, for all the documents and visas and the tickets, and they just discuss everything with the school. I'm just the person who gathers a group of students and organize the meetings for the parents, and just give presentations, and then I just go there with my students, and I'm responsible for them during our journey. But all the things that need to be organized, all the tickets that have to be booked, it's not my problem. Mm, so that's it. Yeah, I am addicted to traveling, and I use every opportunity to travel somewhere. And I hope that this summer we will be able to have one more trip by car together with my husband and my daughter. We haven't decided yet where to go. First, we were thinking about Ekaterinburg, but then some friend of ours suggested some other places and destinations, so we need to think it over and decide. We have some time to just to make a decision. That's it. Yeah, traveling is one of the my favorite topics to talk about.